Morning, good morning. Welcome to First Unitarian Universalist Church of Richmond, a congregation in the free faith tradition bound not by a creed, but by a covenant. My name is Erica Sims, and my pronouns are she, her, and I am honored to serve on your board of directors. We are a community of many faith journeys and beliefs, united in a single covenant of care. Together, we explore our connection to each other, to the sacred, and to all life, and we strive to bring our values alive in this community and beyond. If you are a visitor here today, we welcome you and look forward to meeting you. We encourage everyone to tune in Sunday morning to services 5 to 10 minutes early in order to catch the rolling announcements. This is a good way to stay informed about things that are important to our church community. And if you would please silence your cell phones, I'll add one last notice of business. We've recently undergone a required update to our emailing service. And as a result, many of our emails are landing in spam folders across multiple platforms. There isn't anything wrong, it's all just an inconvenience we need to deal with. As a general practice for the next month or so, please check your spam folders for emails from First UU and from the staff, especially if you are sending or expecting something from any of the ministers or staff. Thank you very much.
Good morning. My name is Kirsten Fritz. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm the ministerial intern here at First UU. My partner in worship this morning is Leanne Luskin, our Director of Lifespan Faith Formation. It is our custom here at First UU to open worship by welcoming our visitors. If you are a visitor this morning and you feel comfortable, please raise your hand and wait for Jamie to come around with the microphone. When she reaches you, please share your name and where you are visiting from.
Good morning. Oh, you can take it. Hi, I'm Mary Ellen Mercer. I'm Natalia Coronado Mercer's grandmother.
Welcome.
Oh, there we go. You ain't new.
Jamie said I ain't new because I inquire with her, and I remembered her from being here. I came here about 5 years ago for about 6 months, and then the pandemic and all that happened, and I had another baby, and I brought both of them with me today because I missed it here. So, thank you. Oh, my name's Cassie.
Welcome back. Any other visitors with us this morning? Well, welcome. Before we greet each other, I'd just like to make a note that we are having flower communion today. And if you forgot to bring a flower, or you're visiting and you did not know you needed one, please don't worry about it. We always have plenty of extra, and we want everyone to be able to participate in today's ritual. All of Us Are Beautiful by Thomas Rhodes. We come in a variety of colors, shapes, and sizes. Some of us grow in bunches, some of us grow alone, some of us are cupped inward, and some of us spread ourselves out wide. Some of us are old and dried and tougher than we appear. Some of us are still in bud. Some of us grow low to the ground, and some of us stretch up toward the sun. Some of us feel like weeds sometimes. Some of us carry seeds sometimes. Some of us are prickly sometimes. Some of us smell. And all of us are beautiful. What a bouquet of people we are.
Hi there. I'm Leanne, she, her. I have the honor of serving the children and youth and families of this congregation. Some of our young people have generously agreed to do our chalice lighting this morning. So Rory Luskin will be reading this piece by Jennifer McLaughlin, Like the First Hint of Green, and Libby Rupp will be lighting our chalice for us.
As the first hint of green begins to peek through the barren ground, as that little sprig grows into a healthy stem, as that stem grows into a stalk and forms a bud, as that bud slowly opens with each new day to form a yellow daffodil, let us be like that first hint of green, renewed by the warmth of the sun's rays, and ready to emerge with a new energy, ready to face the day. We light this chalice to bring a glimmer of that warmth into our space.
And now if you'd like to rise in body or spirit for our first hymn is number 76 that you will find in your gray hymnals.
Good morning! So, this hymn is not difficult, it's actually very intuitive, we just don't do it a lot. So, if you would kindly repeat after me.
For flowers that bloom about our feet, for tender grass so fresh and sweet. Your turn. For flowers that bloom about our feet, for tender grass so fresh and sweet. All right, listen to the next bit. For song of bird and hum of bee, for all things fair we hear or see. All right? For song of bird and hum of bee, for all things fair we hear or see. And then the last lick is fine. Giver of all, we thank thee. Giver of all, we thank thee.
Let's see.
In addition to being Flower Communion, today is our monthly multi-generational service where all ages worship here together. Our multi-generational services almost always feature a time for all ages. And a lot of times that's a story, not always, but I do have a story to share with you today. So all of our young and young at heart folks are invited. You don't have to, but you're invited to come join me on the mats over here, where I will read a story for us. There are some coloring sheets. So again, young and young at heart, if you'd like to come color while you listen to a story, you are welcome to. Today's offering comes from A Lamp in Every Corner. This is a great one to have in your home library by Janine Grossmeyer. Hey, there we go. If you change your mind and would like to come up at some point, feel free. You are welcome. Cora, do you want to get a coloring sheet? You can color. Go right ahead. A plain and simple beauty. In the city of Prague and the land of Czechoslovakia, in the year 1923, a time between the two world wars, there was a church. But the building did not look much like a church. Some churches have towers with bells that ring out over the land. Some churches have tall spires that reach to the sky. Some churches have big, massive doors of carved wood or enormous windows of stained glass with colored light shining through. Some churches have great organs with hundreds of pipes, from little tiny ones like drinking straws to huge ones that touch the ceiling. Some churches have statues or big fancy pictures, lots of candles or chalices. This church had none of those things. It had no bells, no spires, no stained glass windows. It had no organ to make beautiful music. It didn't even have a piano. It had no carvings of wood or statues of stone. It had no candles or chalices. It had no flowers. The church did have some things. It had 4 sturdy walls and a ceiling and a floor. It had a door and a few plain windows. It had some hard wooden chairs, but that was all, plain and simple. Except the church also had people who came to it every Sunday, and they were the most important part of the church, because without people, a church, any church, is just a building, no matter how tall its spires or how loud its bells. We have a plain and simple church, declared the people. Because we are plain and simple people. We need nothing more. The church also had one other very important thing. It had a minister, and his name was Norbert Chopek. He had been the minister at the Plain and Simple Church for 2 years. Every Sunday, Minister Chopek went to church, and he spoke to the people while they listened, sitting quiet and still in their hard wooden chairs. When he was done speaking, the people talked a little bit among themselves, and then they went home. And that was all. No music, no candles, no food, not even coffee. Whew. Minister Chopek had wondered sometimes if there might be something, perhaps just a little bit something more. He wrote some songs, And the people sang them, but nothing else came to his mind, so the church went on, plain and simple as before. Springtime came to the city of Prague in the land of Czechoslovakia in the year 1923, and Norbert Čapek went for a stroll. The rains had come, the birds were singing, and flowers were blooming all over the land. The world was so beautiful. Then an idea came to him, simple and clear, plain as the day. The next Sunday, he asked all the people of the church to bring a flower or a budding branch or even a twig. Each person was to bring one. What kind? They asked. What color? What size? Because we Unitarian Universalists have questions, and we like to know what is expected of us. But he said, you choose. Each of you, choose what you like. And so on the next Sunday, which was the first day of summer, the people came with flowers of all different colors and sizes and kinds. There were yellow daisies and red roses. There were white lilies and blue asters, dark-eyed pansies and light green leaves, pink and purple, orange and gold. There were all those colors and more. Flowers filled all the vases, and the church wasn't so plain and simple anymore. Minister Čapek spoke to the people while they listened, sitting quiet and still in those hard wooden chairs. These flowers are like ourselves, he said. Different colors, different shapes, and different sizes, each needing different kinds of care, but each beautiful, each important and special in its own way. When he was done speaking, the people talked a little bit among themselves, and then they each chose a different flower from the vases before they went home. And that was all. And it was beautiful, plain, and simple as the day. Thank you for listening, and you can either stay and color or you can head back to your seats. Thank you, everyone.
This month's Share the Plate organization is Culture Encounters, and they sent a video for us to share.
Good morning, FUU family. I am Amagati. I am the founder and executive director of Culture Encounters. First of all, I want to say a huge thank you to you all for selecting Culture Encounters as your partners for Share the Plate for the month of May. We are indeed incredibly grateful for your generosity. Now, Culture Encounters is a local nonprofit organization that is dedicated to promoting cultural curiosity, knowledge, and appreciation right here in Richmond, Virginia. And we do that in 3 ways: through the arts, shared experiences such as restaurant visits, and also panel discussions in our podcast, which falls under the umbrella of Conversations That Connect. Now, as an immigrant, I do understand firsthand the challenges that we immigrants face moving into a culture like this that forces us to assimilate, that forces us to tweak the way we speak or the way we say our names so we can fit in. We believe right here at Culture Encounters that we need to celebrate the diversity that makes Richmond beautiful. And so we've set out to offer programming for both youth and adults. And some of these programs include restaurant tours for kids. So over the summer, we take kids to 9 restaurants in 3 days. And we do that because we believe that food is one of the tangible ways to engage with a culture different from your own. We also do that for adults. We take adults to immigrant-owned restaurants where they get to hear the chef's story, their migration story, what led to starting their restaurant, what spices, what seasoning are we tasting in the food. It is such a tangible way to connect with culture. And then the aspect of the arts. We all know that arts bring us together. The arts truly tells the story of who a person is. And so we do highlight that as well. And then, of course, through our conversations that aims to bridge cultural gaps and cultural divides. And so I want to say thank you for partnering with us. Our work is only made possible by the generosity of individuals like you. And if you would love to learn more or get on our mailing list, please visit our website, www.cultureencounters.org, cultureencounters.org. There you will find information about upcoming events and all the programming that we do offer. Also, out in the lobby, you will find some flyers and information about our organization. Again, thank you all for your generosity, and thank you for being partners with Culture Encounters.
To contribute to this organization and the health of this church, please place your gifts in the basket or use one of the methods listed on the screen. Your gifts are gratefully received. Let us enter a time of meditation. Please get comfortable in your seat. You can close your eyes or soften your gaze. Let's take a deep breath in and out. And in and out. As you take a breath in, scan your body for any parts that are sensitive or painful, and breathe healing into those tight spots. As you take your next breath in, scan your heart and mind for the parts of yourself that are hurting or ignored or that you don't like very much. Breathe love into those neglected parts of yourself. On this last breath, fill your belly with peace and love. Allow it to embrace every part of you. Breathe out and release that love into the world. This is Flower Communion Prayer by Reverend Dr. Lynn Unger. What a gathering! The purple tongues of iris licking out at spikes of lupine, the orange crepe skirts of poppies lifting over buttercup and daisy. Who can be grim in the face of such abundance? There is nothing to compare, no need for beauty to compete. The voluptuous rhododendron and the plain grass are equally filled with themselves, equally declare the miracles of color and form. This is what community looks like, this vibrant jostle, stem by stem, declaring the marvelous joining. This is the face of communion, the incarnation once more gracefully resurrected from winter. Hold these things together in your mind. Purple, crimson, magenta, blue. You will be feasting on this long after the flowers are gone. Please remain seated for our meditation hymn, number 352 in the gray hymnal, Find a Stillness. So take a moment to take a look of the incredible display of flowers we have created together. It truly shows how beautiful diversity can be. It is dazzling in its variety, so many different types of flowers, each distinctive and beautiful in its own way. And it's a great metaphor for the Unitarian Universalist value of pluralism. In the proposed revision to Article 2, the Unitarian Universalist Association describes pluralism this way. We celebrate that we are all sacred beings, diverse in culture, experience, and theology. We covenant to learn from one another in our free and responsible search for truth and meaning. We embrace our differences and commonalities with love, curiosity, and respect. In the Czech Republic, they call this ritual the flower celebration. And some congregations here in the United States use the term flower ceremony. But I really prefer flower communion. Communion is an act of sharing. Communion comes from the same Latin root as common and community. Something that we have in common is not something that is the same. Something that we have in common is something that we share. And we know that sharing of our own inner and outer diversity is essential for healthy systems. Whether this is natural systems, the biodiversity of the flora and fauna inside your own gut, or in your neighborhood, or in the Amazon. It's essential to keep our planet healthy. And it is essential in the diversity of human experiences represented in our own lives, our congregation, and our nation. Diversity enriches and strengthens human systems too. Diversity is also challenging. Take another look at our flowers. It is beautiful, and it's a bit chaotic and messy. It isn't perfectly coordinated or aesthetically arranged, although I did see some people trying. Some of the colors clash, some of the sizes are mismatched, some of them are made of completely different materials. It is unpredictable and out of our individual control, and that can make us very uncomfortable. That's part of the challenge of pluralism. Making room for everything that we are and everyone we encounter can be difficult. In preparation for today's flower communion, I watched an interview with the Reverend Peter Samovsky, the minister of the Prague Unitarian Congregation in the Czech Republic. In the Prague congregation, they consider flower communion the highlight of their year. It is even more popular than Christmas or Easter. They change it every year to keep things fresh, including having special themes. For example, one year it was the 1920s, and the next year it was futurism, and they change all of the music and encourage everyone to come in costume. So maybe we should try that next year. In the Czech Republic, like we do here, all those who can bring a flower to the service. Sometimes it's a fresh flower, sometimes it's a flower drawn on paper, or a budding branch. Reverend Peter says he has changed from the original ritual created by Reverend Chopak. He's changed how people receive their flower and which flower they take home with them at the end of the service. He noticed during these services that people's eyes would fixate on the flower that they liked best, the one they found the most pleasing. And he said that it was clear they were so focused on just which flower they were going to get when they got up to the front of the room. And he said, this is not about what we get. It is about what we receive. So now he has the children pass out the flowers. So each person receives their flower. They don't pick it themselves. You accept the flower you receive as a reminder to accept everyone as they are. To emphasize this message, Reverend Peter brings nettles as his contribution to flower communion. So if you are unfamiliar, a nettle is a plant that has stinging pieces on it. It is very painful. He picks them himself because he also wants to challenge himself, he says. But he thinks it's important because there are times we need to be challenged to accept and love who is here in the room. Sometimes there will be painful nettles or prickly thistle or sharp thorns. We do not have any nettles or thistle, but some of the roses do have thorns, so be careful later in the service, okay? We don't get to choose who is in the room with us. We will find some people that are here today difficult, messy, or uncomfortable, even nettlesome. But flower communion reminds us to observe the beauty in our differences. Carl Rogers does that by appreciating the things he cannot control. Quote, "People are just as wonderful as sunsets if I can let them be." In fact, perhaps the reason we truly appreciate a sunset is that we cannot control it. When I look at a sunset, I watch it with awe as it unfolds. I like myself best when I can appreciate my staff member, my son, my daughter, my neighbor, my grandchildren in this same way. So appreciation is a great place to start, letting other people unfurl as themselves. But appreciation is not acceptance, and acceptance is not welcome. As it states in the description I read earlier about pluralism, it takes love and curiosity and respect to create a space where we can create community through what we share with each other. Perhaps Reverend Julian Jamaica Soto says it best. To be free, you must embrace the breadth of your own existence without apology. But to actually be free, you must know and you must fight for the entire universes inside of everyone else. May it be so.
Good morning. Hey, Nat. You're up. First, I want to give a shout out to our new addition to Youth Ensemble, Isaac. Isaac, our percussionist. I want to brag on him because he actually doesn't even own a drum set. Yeah, so all the props. That aside, so Youth Ensemble is about to sing for you. It's a Sesame Street song cover of a Jason Mraz song, so you might recognize the tune. Yeah. Anyway, this is Sesame Street. So it's centered in squish. Squish.
I know.
Squish so much.
Yeah. Squish.
All right.
All day I've been inside and I've got the feeling I'm trapped between the walls and underneath the ceiling. I feel a bit off track, and now I'm trying to get back in the cool, cool air where the sun is shining. Nothing's gonna stop me, it's all in the timing. It's finally again my turn. It's time to return, 'cause I won't stay inside no more, no more. I cannot wait to go outdoors. Hey, hey. Well, open up your door and be like me. Open up your door and then breathe free. Look at all the beauty you'll feel. Love, 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 love. Listen to the music in the wind that the birdies sing. We're just one big family, and all of nature deserves to be won't stay inside no more, no more. It cannot wait. I'm sure there's no need to run and hide. Let's go explore. It feels so great to go outdoors.
What a gift. Thank you. The Youth Music Ensemble takes a break for the summer, so we won't be hearing from them again until September. I just wanted to take a moment to thank Jamie for all that she has done. I could stand up here for a long time and talk about the wonders of what Jamie does with these kids, but I come for rehearsal because my kid likes to sing, and so I'm here on Wednesdays, and it's not just choir practice, and it's really beautiful, and it truly is living into our values and principles the way Jamie lets these kids be their full, weird, awesome selves, and they play games, and they talk about their days, and it's amazing. So, Jamie, thank you so much, and thanks to all the kids who show up here all the time. You're fantastic.
So we are going to begin our flower ceremony with a blessing of the flowers. And I would like you to join me in reading this blessing, The Consecration of Flowers by Reverend Sarah Movius Schur. These flowers we see before us, they come in many shades and colors. They come in many sizes and shapes. They carry different scents. Some have no scent at all. Yet all were created by the same miracle, the miracle that these blossoms glow every year out of the divine mixing of water, soil, and sunshine. Our lives are miracles as well. Despite our trials and disappointments, people come every year to celebrate Flower Communion, to be reminded that all of us have value and all have a place in the beauty of the world, to be reminded that where you came from is not as important as the fact that you are here now, to be reminded that all are welcome and all may receive at the communion table of this church. We come to be part of something greater than ourselves. Thank you, Youth Ensemble. So today we're going to follow the Czech tradition of having the children and youth help pass out flowers for our flower communion. So if there are our youth ensemble and if there are any young people in the audience who would like to help pass out flowers, please come and stand in front of the tables and here at the front of the sanctuary. Anybody? There's some more room over here if a couple of you want to come on to this side. All right. So, young people, I'm going to have you go first. So I'd like you to choose a flower and turn and hand it to the person next to you. Just any flower, but be careful because some of them do have thorns, the little roses. So maybe get a bigger flower. All right. So that is the flower that you're going to take home. So you can lay it to the side so that you'll have it later. All right. Now, I'm going to invite the rest of the people in the congregation to come up in sections. We have many helpers up here, so multiple people can get a flower at the same time. So kids, what I want you to do is choose a flower and hand it to the adult, any adult or young person, anyone who comes up to you. All right? Can you guys do that? Fantastic. Thank you for the affirmation. If physically coming up to the front would be difficult for you, when I call your section, please raise your hand, and Lee Ann will bring a flower to you in your seat. All right, we're going to start over here with stage left and some musical accompaniment. So next we're going to have this section, and if you could come down the center and split off so that both sides can share flowers with you. This section, if you would come down the center and take turns going one to one side and one to the other so that all of the kids have an opportunity to give flowers. And if when you're done you could circle and go around to get back to your seat, that would be really helpful. All right, and if we could have our last section, far stage right, come on down and get a flower. I think that is everything. Kids, please take your flower and find your seats. Can I have a round of applause for the kids helping out today? So, Leanne, if you would please extinguish our chalice. Our benediction today was inspired by flower communion closing words by Reverend John Nalu Johnstone. May the flower you have received remind you of the blessings you receive from those gathered here. May it remind you of the beauty of the earth, of the natural world, and all the gifts that our human, animal, and plant companions share with us. May it remind you of the beauty we created here together in our diversity and our differences, the beauty that we create together by sharing all the parts of ourselves, the beauty of community. Go in peace. Please rise, embody your spirit, and join us in singing our closing hymn, number 360, from the Gray Hymnal. Here we have gathered.